what it really takes to become a millionaire. I call it the 2, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 rule. Let me explain. This is your timeline. You got to know your timeline. The one thing about becoming an entrepreneur, know that the first 2 years is survival mode. If anything that can go wrong, it's probably going to go wrong in the first 2 years of being a business. And you're going to experience all of it. And you need to experience all of it. That's the first 2 years in business. Within 5 years, if you follow the formula that I talk about, you have a shot at getting to $250,000 to $500,000 your income within 5 years. Within 10 years, you ought to be at $1 million your income. If you cover the formula I'm talking about, you'll be at $1 million your income. Then 20 years is 10 million, 30 years, 100 million, 40 years, $1 billion. But the formula is a formula that's duplicatable to everybody. So let's start off with the formula. You need 4 elements to be in your favor. Sometimes I hear a lot of people when you do an interview with a millionaire or a billionaire. I interviewed with Mark Cuban, and he talks about how hard he works Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday. He's going through this, going through that. Hey, what does it take to become wealthy? And you hear a lot of people say, you got to work hard. Well, what does that really mean? You got to work hard, because sometimes I visit entrepreneurs' offices and they're at the office purely on Facebook all day long, but they're at their office for 12 hours. That's not working hard. That's just being at the office. I'm talking pure work, meaning if you're in sales, you're either answering the phones, you're either in the field door knocking or meeting with people, or you're having people sitting in front of you, or you're at a kitchen table selling something, or you're constantly playing offense. It's not a lag time. So let's talk about work ethic. We got 3 levels. Level number 1 is a part-timer. If you work 40 hours a week as an entrepreneur, to me, you're a part-timer. I know in the full-time world, in the job world, if you work 9 to 5, you're a full-timer. But as an entrepreneur, 40 hours a week, you're not giving yourself a chance to make it. Level number 2 to me is a full-timer. A full-timer as an entrepreneur is somebody that works 60 hours a week. That to me is a full-timer. Now, level 3, I call it all-the-timer. All-the-timer is 80 hours a week. And I know a lot of times people may even turn off the video right now because you may be saying, 80, is he out of his mind? Is he crazy? He must be nuts. This isn't a video for everybody to watch. This is if you want to know what it takes to become a millionaire and a decamillionaire. You know, those days of just coming out with Snapchat and Instagram and you becoming a billionaire overnight, those are anomalies. That's not duplicatable. If you only strive for that, you may be another person that's 60 years trying to get something to come out and be sold for a couple $1 billion. This is a duplicatable system that I'm talking about. Now, on the work ethic side, let me explain on the work ethic side. I'll have people that'll say, I worked 80 hours last week. You have no idea how hard I worked last week. That's good. But how hard did you work the week prior to that, and the 3 months prior to that, and the 6 months prior to that, and the following week when you have a birthday party coming up, and next week when it's Super Bowl, and next week when it's this? How hard are you going to work every week? This is not 1 week. Everyone has 1 week to brag about. This is every single week. You may have a week you don't feel like working, and all the timer still shows up. A part-timer only shows up when they feel like it, and all the timer, whether you feel like it or not, they show up. Now, second element is personal growth speed. Let me explain personal growth speed. If you're only working, and you're going into like the whole rat race, if you're just working, and your identity isn't growing, nothing changes. There isn't an ability to scale your income to get to a millionaire. If you're working, figuring out, solving, learning, growing, then you're constantly going to new heights. So here's how it works. Level 1, if you average 24 books a year, 2 books a month that you're feeding your mind, that's a part-timer. If you average 4 books a month, that's a full-timer. Average CEO reads 56 books per year. If you read, and all the timer, if you read 8 books a month, 100 a year, to me, you're an all the timer. You're constantly feeding your mind. I'm not talking about, the fantasy books. I'm talking real business books that's growing your mind on solving problems and issues and learning from this guy and how that person did it and how that person did this. You're learning, you're growing. It's helping you figure things out. That's an all the time. So far we covered work ethic and we covered personal growth speed. Element number 3 is how many start-stops you have as you're running your business. You rarely hear us talking about this. Listen, I am by far not the smartest guy. I'm not the most talented guy. I don't come from a family of wealth. My father was a cashier at a 99-cent store in Inglewood, 1.8 GPA kid. I went to the Army. I took an ASVAB, got a 31 on my ASVAB. This is not a product of I'm supposed to do whatever I'm supposed to do and be running a, whatever multi-million dollar company and doing I'm not supposed to be where I'm at right now. I'm supposed to be a statistic. That's what I'm supposed to be doing.